Greetings, class, and welcome to week 11. This week, our topic is going to be the dirty cop. So although dirty cops in the real world are somewhat uncommon, which might be hard to believe, there's 1.7 arrests of law enforcement officers per 100,000. Civilian arrests in comparison are 3,880 per 100,000. So not a whole lot of them. But they are very common in cinema. Can you think of why? One reason is that clean cops are kind of boring. You don't want to watch a movie about a clean cop because there's not going to be anything exciting going on. Well, at least not a whole lot. The potential for abuse and corruption is just too great to ignore. So one of the fears that we as a society have is that the people sworn to protect us are going to be corrupting that power. Also, why would a cop turn dirty, at least in cinema? I guess you could say in reality too, but most of the time these are cinema narratives. One is money or favors, so cops don't get paid as much as the crooks. Cops get paid pretty well, but they don't make as much as drug dealers by any means. Also to make a hard job easier, so planting evidence in order to make a case stick. If you really want to get a guy off the street, sometimes you might have to bend the rules a little bit. Also gang ties or street cred. So the cop could be a mole for organized crime. Maybe organized crime paid his way to get into the academy just so they could have a person planted within the police department. So are dirty cops villains? The jury's definitely out on this one. So one thing I'd like to say is the road to hell is paved with good intentions. I have this attributed to Plato, but I have no idea who said this first. I've heard it 1,000 times. If any of you can figure out who originally said this, please let me know. Also, if crime can't be stopped, maybe it can be controlled. This is a common narrative that we end up seeing in dirty cop narratives. Also, anti-heroes share the audience's darker desires and flaws. So we as a society tend to be quite fond of our anti-heroes because they're a little bit more like us, except they've taken a darker turn. And that seems to be the case with a lot of these dirty cops. So our film from this week is L.A. Confidential from 1997. So our synopsis: in 1950s Los Angeles, 3 very different police officers, one squeaky clean, one dirty, and one sleazy, are dragged into a web of corruption that threatens the entire LAPD. So this is another neo-noir piece, similar in a lot of respects to Devil in a Blue Dress. Definitely its time period as well. It tackles many subjects taboo during the original noir production code era. So drugs, prostitution, racism, homosexuality, and police corruption. That's what this film is about, and it's absolutely full of it. So in an original noir piece, it could never have dealt with all of these things. So this also covers similar ground as the movie Gangster Squad, which came out probably 3 or 4 years ago, but it doesn't claim to be based on a true story. There definitely are some real-life characters in here. It was definitely drawn from some real things that happened to the LAPD in the 1950s, but it's not based on a true story. It definitely stretches the truth quite a bit, but it's a movie. That's the way it works. So our questions for this week. Number 1, why is Ed Exley squeaky clean? And when I put that in ironic quotes, I mean he looks squeaky clean, but is he really? You'll find out. And why is he hated for it? And also, why doesn't he mind? These are all important things that go towards his character. Number 2, why is Bud White both brutal and dirty? And then why does he have a change of heart? Number 3, why doesn't Jack Vincennes care about protecting and serving? And why does he have a change of heart? So these are our 3 dirty cops, or 3 cops that we're dealing with in this film. In this film, who are worse, the cops or the criminals, and why? So enjoy, and I will talk to you folks next week.